Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Movies and Beyond. I'm Callum. No Kyle today. He says he's feeling ill, so you know, obviously, I'm dedicated to doing a video every day. So, a little bit of a different video today. I'm just going to do a quick rundown of all the news that we've got. All the stuff that's happening in the world of TV and movies. So, yeah, the first topic today is Witcher. Now, last night, before I went to bed, they dropped a trailer for season 3. Something you need to know about me is Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt is possibly my favourite game of all time. I love that game with a passion. Now, when it comes to the show, season 1 I actually quite enjoy, but season 2 is pretty forgettable. Actually, I don't even remember what happened last, so I'm going to have to go back and watch it. And when it comes to the books, I have no experience with the books whatsoever. So, I'm not in that camp of, well, it's not faithful to the books, so I'm not watching it. Just give me a good story, that's all I care about. And with the season 3 trailer coming out, it looks like they might manage to do that this season. I thought the trailer was great. I really liked all the action scenes in it, the nice little character moments, all the stuff like that. And something of note that's quite interesting, actually, to take away from this is they're going to be splitting it into 2 parts. Part 1 coming on June 29th, and Part 2 coming on July 27th. So, they're doing the classic Netflix thing of, let's split it up, let's try and get more engagement, build up anticipation for the last part of the season. And coincidentally enough, the last Henry Cavill season we're going to be having, because if you don't know, Henry Cavill has left the project originally to do Superman, but then he got, I'm not want to say fired. He didn't get hired, as James Gunn puts it. But he's got his Warhammer TV show that he's producing that he's going to be very heavily involved with, so I'm pretty sure Henry Cavill's going to be fine. Regards to Liam Hemsworth, though, do I think he's going to be able to pull it off? Look, Geralt is not that complex of a character to do if you can grunt and be very dismissive. Then, yeah, because witches have no emotion. So, you need to be able to play someone with no emotion and get that out. But I think he might be able to do it. But to me, the witch is always going to be Henry Cavill. And just to say as well, there's some pretty good action that I've seen in the trailer. Looks like they're going to do like a big courtyard, one take sword fight. So, yeah, count me in for that. Obviously, on a level of anticipation, where I'm probably about a 7.5 for The Witcher season 3. It looks alright, but yeah. Anyway, it's a quick one on that. The next one is Swamp Thing. Now, earlier this week, there was a report that Bill Skarsgård is being looked at to possibly take on a role in the new DC universe, and they said with that, it's nothing Batman related. So, me and Kyle both, threw just stuff out there, just what we thought we might see. Kyle, I'm pretty sure he went with Green Lantern, and I said Lex Luthor. I could really see it, maybe if he shaved his head. I thought that was possible. But no. Turns out he's being looked at to play Swamp Thing. So, this is very unexpected for me. I really didn't think that they was going to get him to play Swamp Thing. So this says 2 things to me. One, it's going to be a mocap character, and they're really going to try and get the performance out onto the character from Bill. Or they're going to go heavily prosthetic, because we know he can do that as well. With the 8 films, obviously he wore a lot of makeup for that, to bring the character to life. I'm going to be completely honest here. don't know a ton about Swamp Thing. I know there was a show a couple of years ago now, and I'm pretty sure it got cancelled within its first episode airing. But then the season got cut short as well, if I remember correctly. They were still filming it as the first episode came out, and then they even cut it from 10 to 9 episodes, or from 9 to 8. So yeah, but people like Swamp Thing. If they're adding Bill Skarsgård, that's, another legitimate way to say, look, we're taking this universe very seriously. Like, the way I look at this is, James Gunn is just going after talent, and Bill Skarsgård is very talented. I don't know how it would work, He's... Can you imagine him in a big green costume going around the set? Is that going to be the best way to get a performance out of him? But what I do know is that this is going to be headed up by James Mangold. Obviously, he's just done Indiana Jones, but he's also done things like, Logan, which is, to some people probably the greatest comic book film of all time. For me, it's up there. It's not the greatest, but it's up there. And Ford v Ferrari, which is another great film. So, don't judge him off his worst night at the office, which I think a lot of film fans do these days. Is they look at the last thing that someone's done and just goes, no, I don't like them because they did one bad thing. No way. If you look at, Craig Mazin, I believe it is, who did Chernobyl and The Last of Us, you would have not wanted him anywhere near Last of Us if you'd have seen his other previous writing credits. But all these writers are talented. They just need to find the right thing to write about. And I think the way he did Logan, I really think he can do Swamp Thing in that sort of dark, gritty superhero way. But not a superhero, sort of like a weird science experiment, fucked up sort of thing. But this really gets my excitement up there now. James Mangold, Bill Skarsgård. I can imagine this is going to be something that's coming quite early in the slate then, if they're starting to look at casting it now. Mind you, Ezra Miller was cast 9 years ago to be the Flash, and his film's only just come out. So, coming out next week. Not even out yet. So, this is how factor plays into it. But, yeah, I'd say I'm at a good 8 now. Looking forward to this. It's gone from something that I was interested in to that's piquing my interest a lot more. So that's good. So yeah, the next topic. Matt Reeves' Batman. He's looking for his Harvey Dent, and these two men right here are the ones who are apparently being looked at. This is just off Reddit. I actually couldn't find a source, so I don't know the validity of this. I don't know if it's true or not, but I thought it was interesting anyway, nonetheless, to talk about. So, Joel Edgerton and Josh Hartnett are in the running to play Harvey Dent. This is interesting because I really didn't think that Matt Reeves would go down the Harvey Dent road with his Batman films yet. And I know a lot of people were thinking that maybe he'd do like a Dr. Freeze or a Clayface, but like a realistic spin on him, not like the comic, big freeze suit or, big monster made out of clay. But just because we've got someone playing Harvey Dent doesn't necessarily mean they have to be Two-Face from the get-go in this film. I personally think that this is just going to be a small introductory role of like, look, here's Harvey Dent, here's what he's doing, district attorney and all that stuff. Maybe build up that character a little bit more. Maybe even get like a Harvey Dent like law procedural show like we're getting the Penguin show, of where he, of his, trying to convict criminals before he turns into Two-Face. So, this to me is interesting. Who would I rather have out of the two, though? I'm definitely leaning more towards Joel Edgerton, simply because I'm a big fan of his work. If you haven't seen the film Warrior with Tom Hardy, check that out because it's amazing. It's probably one of my favourite films of all time. The emotion in that film and the performances are fantastic. Now, I probably have seen some Josh Hartnett stuff. In fact, let's have a quick look now, see what he's done. Should have done this before, but right. So, Pearl Harbor. I haven't seen it, but he is going to be in Oppenheimer coming up, and I have seen Black Hawk Down. Sin City, yeah, I've seen that, and now his face is coming back to me more now that I'm searching stuff that he's been in. So yeah, yeah. Apparently he's going to be in Oppenheimer. Wrath of Man. Actually, that was all right. TV shows. Nothing I have seen. I've heard Penny Dreadful's pretty good, so yeah. But yes, no, still after that, I would definitely say I'm in the camp of Joel Edgerton. I really think he could play a good Harvey Dent. Be a nice role he can sink his teeth into. He can do it all. You know, if he goes from Star Wars to serious. So yeah, I'm a big fan. A big fan of these two picks. Obviously, I'm leaning more in the camp of Joel Edgerton to be Harvey Dent. So, you know, we'll see what happens. This could be complete bullshit. Maybe Matt Reeves isn't even thinking about Harvey Dent in his next Batman film. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens. But if it was going to be one of these men, I'd be very happy. So, not that Kyle didn't make it, so yeah, we don't want this slide. This is the one. So, now, the big news of the day, the one I actually really wanted to talk about. I just wanted to get some things out of the way. But Superman Legacy is going to be the official brand new star of James Gunn's DC Universe. That film, I think it comes out in July of 2025, so we're 2 years away now. Well, 2 years and a bit away. So casting's got to start pretty soon, which apparently it is. Apparently they're going to be looking at casting, doing some in-person casting tests next week, and this is a great way to do it. You get the actors there, you get a big bunch of them, and just run chemistry tests with all of them in different combinations, and that way do you not only find your best, Superman, but you're going to find your best Lois, and the best two people who work together. It'll make for a better film. If if someone's passionate about what they're doing, then it really shows on camera as well. Like, I really enjoyed Loki, but the thing that made me enjoy it that little bit more was Tom Hiddleston's love for playing that character. So, you really want to find the same thing in your Superman actor, because this is going to be one of the two pillars that hold up your DC universe. So, let's have a look who the final shortlist is. So, for Clark Kent himself, Superman, we are looking at Nicholas Hoult, David Corenswet, and Tom Brittney. And for Lois Lane, we're looking at Emma Mackey, Rachel Brosnahan, and Phoebe Denver. I will say this: out of the three men who were picked to play Superman, I'm definitely more in the camp of Nicholas Hoult. I've seen more of his stuff. He's been waiting to do something superhero related for a long time now. I know he was Beast in the X-Men like revival, like from First Class all the way up to Dark Phoenix, and they were really good in Days of Future Past. And I know he's been in the running for a couple of big like superhero roles for a couple of years now. He was in the running for the Batman. Obviously, he lost it out to Robert Pattinson. Who else was he? I'll have to look into it, but I'm pretty sure he's been in the running for someone else as well. But could he get Superman? Look, I think this might be an unpopular pick here, and I think a lot of people are going to go with David, I believe. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to go with David simply because he looks a lot like Henry Cavill. But I don't want to pick someone because they look like the previous man, or that is the ideal look of Superman. Because look, makeup happens. You know, you can do anything these days. You can make anyone look like anyone. And for me, the best pure acting talent out of all them is Nicholas Hoult. If you haven't seen him in The Menu, he was great in that. He was like a weird sort of little food critic person. Go watch The Menu if you haven't seen The Menu. Mad Max, he's great in that as well. You know, he's got, you wouldn't even know it's him because he just blends into the role, and that's it. You don't know, and that's what a good actor does. They disappear into the role, and you want to be able to look at Superman and go, "Oh, that's Nicholas Hoult." You don't want to be able to look at him and do that. You don't want to look at, you know, the new Superman and go, "Oh, that's a guy who kind of looks like Henry Cavill, so I guess I'm okay with this, even though I might not be getting the best performance I could be getting." So, when it goes performance-wise, definitely Nicholas Hoult. But this brings me to you would have thought Superman would have been the harder one to pick, but out of the three ladies who are the front runners here, I cannot choose between these two of them. I cannot choose between, and that's Emma Mackey and Rachel Brosnahan. If you haven't seen Sex Education, Emma Mackey's great in that. You know, she plays a really, you know, complex character with a really rough background, and you really get behind her and feel sorry for her. But she also makes stupid mistakes. But she is a really, really good actress, and I'm pretty sure she's going to be in Barbie later this year. And she, you know, she brings it all the time. Her and Ace Butterfield have great chemistry in Sex Education. But Rachel Brosnahan, if you have not seen The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, go watch that right now. I know I've just told you to go watch something else right now, and it was probably Warrior, but go watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, because this woman just carries that show on her own. And I think I'm a bit torn between the two of them, either Emma Mackey or Rachel Brosnahan. But if I had to pair, just on looks, if I had to pair two up, I would probably pair Holt and Brosnahan together, because I think they make a more believable duo. And I still see Emma Mackey as quite young. I know she's older, but when she's played a school character, then I kind of get stuck in your head, and sometimes I just need to break out of that child role, if you know what I mean. Which this could be the film to do that. I have faith in both of them, 100%. But if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick it's hard. It's hard. I really don't know which one I'd pick. Because if I want to say Brosnan, but then I don't want to. You know, there's Mackie as well. But no, I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to go Brosnan because I've seen The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. The show's fantastic. She really carries that show on her back. And if I'm not wrong, Superman Legacy. Superman Legacy should So yeah, it starts shooting at the beginning of next year. So I don't think we'll hear anything soon about who's been cast. I think they're going to do these screen tests next week, and maybe, a couple months from now we're going to hear. But they are definitely going to pick within the next couple of weeks. And there'll probably be leaks and stuff like that, but there won't be an official announcement anytime soon unless James Gunn just goes, look, it's out there, people have leaked it. He's very direct with his audience, so he might just go, look, this is who we've cast. So-and-so. We think they're the best pick. So, yeah. But the two I definitely want to see. Nicholas Hoult and Brosnan. And this, like I said, this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter, so this is quite a reliable source. But obviously things have come out of the Hollywood Reporter before that haven't been true. So, not that they're reporting misinformation, it's just, they've been told the wrong thing. I truly believe that they got told this. But we'll have to see. It could be someone who's not even on this list. So, let me know down below. Who do you want to see as Superman? Who do you want to see as Lois Lane? Are you even interested in Superman Legacy? Will you not be watching it because, there's no Henry Cavill there anymore? For one, I'm so excited about Superman Legacy. Superman is not even, even in my top 10 DC characters. I know, that's crazy. But after watching Guardians 3 and how much heart that James Gunn brought to that film and emotion, I just can't wait to see anything James Gunn related. So, out of, Brave and the Bold and Superman Legacy, I'm actually more excited for Superman, which I never thought I'd, hear myself say. I've always thought Superman's a good character, but he's quite hard to write, and he's quite hard to get right. It's how do you balance a character like that? I think Zack Snyder did it quite well. I'm a big fan of Man of Steel. And obviously James Wofford, Superman, back in the day when he did the Suicide Squad. Once when Marvel got rid of him for the tweets, he was given the choice. You can pick anything apart from Batman, and he went with the Suicide Squad. But now he's clearly got he's got a direction for all these characters. He's the head of DC Studios now. So, yeah, but I think he's starting it right. Start with Superman. Then move on. I'm pretty sure Batman's the next. Well, Brave and the Bold's the next film after that, which will probably be coming out the same year as the Batman 2. So imagine a year where we get 2 Batman films. That's going to be fucking crazy. But yeah, just a quick rundown today. Didn't want to do anything too, big. Kyle's been ill, so I know we promised the dumb theory today. I don't really want to do that by myself. I don't want to, just be reading it out to people and have no one there to react in the moment, because that's going to be the whole fun of it. I want him to have rebuttals. I want him to tell me why it's dumb. I want him to tell me why it might work. I want him to tell me why he completely disagrees with me and I'm an idiot for thinking it might happen. But yeah, just a quick one today, guys. I just needed to talk about this stuff. So yeah, I've been Callum. This is Movies Beyond. Movies and Beyond. Like, share, subscribe, send your mum the video, see what she thinks about it. I'm definitely going to be thinking about doing some weekend content. I've got a rough idea of the video I want to make. I know me and Kyle are going to be talking more this weekend as well about getting the gaming side of things up. Obviously, we've just had some exciting Spider-Man news for the game that's going to be coming out back end of this year. First thing I did today was go into work and book them days off that I needed for it. So yeah, some really good stuff happening in the world of gaming. Some really interesting stuff happening in the world of film. Obviously, next week is going to be a busy week. We've got Flash coming, so I'd be expecting a spoiler review for that. A non-spoiler review, or just out of the theatre review, and then maybe a theory video after of, you know, stuff we think that might happen. It's a bit redundant though, it might not lead to anything now. Obviously the Flash is resetting the DC universe. But yeah. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bit of a quick one and a shorter one today, I know. But you know, just needed to get the news out. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.